So here's the deal. You go to your freezer, you grab your last box of the Samoa cookies that you had hidden in the back, and they're empty. Somebody else likes those cookies as much as you do, and they ate them all. I know it's happened to me before, and it's probably happened to you too. So here's the solution. You go to your kitchen and you whip out this beautiful, delicious, creamy dessert that tastes like the Samoa, only 10 times better with the addition of the cream cheese. And I know we've all got the Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese on hand. I always have this on hand. As long as you have that, you're good to go. You can't go wrong. You're going to whip out this dessert and you're going to have all your friends saying, hey, give me some more of that pie, y'all. Hi, Paula. Hi, all you real women of Philadelphia. Welcome back into my kitchen. So I don't know about you, but I am a huge fan of Girl Scout cookies, and I'm a huge fan of the Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese. So I'm taking two of my favorites here today and combining them into one luscious dessert. I'm a huge pie fanatic, absolutely love it. Always make my pies with Philadelphia cream cheese. It just adds such a rich, creamy texture. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to take the Samoa cookie, my favorite Girl Scout cookie, and I'm going to turn that into a rich, delicious pie. So this will cure your craving anytime. To get started, I have 2 cups of striped shortbread cookies. These are fudge striped shortbread cookies. It's just a simple cookie. They sell them in any grocery store. Took 2 cups of those, about 18 to 20 cookies, and I pulsed those to crumbs. And I'm going to add that to my mixing bowl, along with 5 tablespoons of melted butter. Very simple crust. Mix that together. We're going to go ahead and press that in the bottom and sides of our 9-inch pie pan. Just make sure your butter is all mixed up in there. And gently press it in. That's it. Nothing else to it. We don't even have to add any extra sugar to the crust. There's going to be plenty of sweetness throughout with the caramel and the fudge that we're going to add. Okay, so now this is going to bake in a preheated 350-degree oven for about 6 to 8 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. And one of the other main components in this cookie is the toasted coconut. So we're going to make our own toasted coconuts. Very simple to do. We're going to use about 1.5 cups, and I spread it just on a parchment lined baking sheet. So you can throw these in together, just put them on separate shelves. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So as you can see, we took our pie out of the oven and we put it on a wire cooling rack. We're going to let that cool off completely. And I also removed my toasted coconut and just placed it on a plate. We're going to go ahead and get started on the rest of the filling. Start off with the 3.4-ounce package of instant vanilla pudding mix, 3/4 cup of ice cold milk, and make sure it's nice and icy. It's going to help it set up a lot faster if you do. To that, we're going to add 8 ounces of softened Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese. That's what's going to give us this amazing texture. It's so delicious. 1/4 cup of sweetened condensed milk. I use this in all my cream pies. It just adds such a nice, light, sweet flavor. It's so delicious. We're going to use 1 8-ounce container of thawed whipped topping. That yields about 3 cups. We're going to use some of it in the filling and we're going to add some of it to the top. And for the crust, we're going to layer it with some warmed hot fudge and some warmed caramel. So, to get started, we're going to go ahead and add the pudding mix and ice cold milk to our mixing bowl. We're going to mix that on high about 2 minutes. Go ahead and get that started for you here. Okay, so now we've got our pudding all nice and mixed up. I used my electric stand mixer. You can use a handheld, whatever you have will work fine. Now to that, I'm going to add my softened cream cheese and my sweetened condensed milk. Just pour that right in. We're going to beat that about another minute before we add the final ingredients. Okay, so we've got our cream cheese and our sweetened condensed milk all mixed up with the pudding mixture. It looks absolutely delicious. It's light and creamy and fluffy. It's good enough to eat already. It's just perfect. Nice, creamy, smooth consistency. You want all your lumps out. As long as your cream cheese is softened, your lumps should just smooth right away. I'm going to add about 2.5 cups. Save the rest for the top. Just kind of eyeball a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we have 1.5 cups of toasted coconut total. We're going to use about 1 cup of that in the filling, and then we're going to use the rest for the topping. So about 1 cup, that will get folded right in there. Just gently fold that up in there. All coming together so well. It's so creamy and delicious. I'm telling you what, this is like my all-time favorite cream pie. I love it. Growing up as a kid, I never wanted a birthday cake. I always wanted pie, and it's just kind of stuck with me. Fruit pie, cream pie, you name it, I'm in. Love it. Okay, so it looks so good right now. But what we're going to do, since our crust isn't quite chilled off enough, I'm going to go ahead and cover the filling here with plastic wrap and place that in the fridge for about 5 minutes. And at the same time, I'm just going to pop my crust right into the freezer. It should be just enough timing to get them both set up enough that it'll come together great. So we'll check back in about 5 minutes. Okay, so we've got our filling out of the fridge and our pie crust out of the freezer. Again, it was in there about 5 minutes, just enough time. It's nice and chilled down. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and spread the hot fudge across the bottom. It's a whole cup of hot fudge we're using. Just warmed it in the microwave for about 40 seconds. Spreads perfectly. As long as the crust is nice and chilled off, it will just spread nice and even. So get that spread across the bottom. Just a nice thick layer. Okay. Then we're going to follow with our caramel sundae topping. Just kind of pour that right on top. Swirl it right in with the hot fudge. Doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of get it right in there. You want a little bit of caramel, a little bit of fudge in every single bite. It's going to taste just like a Samoa cookie. So good. Okay. Now, we've got our filling. Just go ahead and give that one quick last little stir. Start spooning that right on top of the caramel and hot fudge. Look at that. Look how creamy that is. It would never be that creamy without that Philadelphia cream cheese. It just takes it to a whole new level. It's so delicious. Spread that evenly across the top there. Just want to take a big bite right now. I can hardly wait. Okay. Nice and even. Now I'm going to take my remaining whipped topping. Just spread that out across the top. And now what I have here is about 3/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. All I did was melt them in the microwave. Takes about a minute or so. Check it about every 30 seconds. Give them a quick stir so they don't burn. Just take those, put them in a plastic resealable bag after they're melted down. If you have cake decorating piping bags, that will work great. I don't have those, so this works just as well. Let's just kind of get it in there. Once you have it in there, go ahead and snip off the end. And then we're just going to make fudge stripes right across the top of the pie. Simple as that. Now we're going to take the remaining toasted coconut, sprinkle that right across the top. And that's it. You have our beautiful Samoa pie. If you're pressed for time, stick it in the freezer. It really won't freeze up. It's just going to firm a lot quicker. So go ahead and cover that with plastic wrap. Stick it in the fridge until you're ready to serve it. It can be made the day ahead. It can be made an hour in advance. It's still going to taste just as good. So I'm going to stick mine in the fridge and we'll serve it here shortly. Okay, so there you have it. I served it up on our beautiful plate. Just added a little garnish. I happen to have a couple Samoa cookies left from my freezer. I know it's hard to believe, but I did. I saved a couple so I could use that for my garnish. Drizzled a little hot fudge on my plate. As you can see, I've got all the layers here. I've got the shortbread cookie crust on the bottom. I've got the fudge, the caramel, the coconut cream filling. It's absolutely delicious. It is so creamy and good. It's got all those flavors, the toasted coconut, the fudge, the caramel. They come together so well. A perfect dessert to whip up. Less than an hour. Thanks, Paula. Talk to you later. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I do. Bye!